Established in 1891, the Agricultural and Mechanical College for the Colored Race provided opportunity for North Carolina students where there once was none. Today, North Carolina A&T is the largest of America's historically black universities, as well as one of its top-ranked, with nearly 13,500 students studying on a vibrant residential campus in the heart of East Greensboro. A doctoral land-grant university, NCA&T is America's top producer of black graduates in engineering, agricultural sciences, journalism, and liberal arts. A&T today draws high-achieving students from all states and more than 100 nations. They choose from 160-plus graduate and undergraduate degree programs, minors, and concentrations, and an ever-growing selection of graduate and undergraduate certificates. Programs like Guild Education, Disney Aspire, and a graduate partnership with AT&T enroll students from industry, helping graduates ascend and employers grow the value of their workforce. Across the board, students are graduating in record numbers, about 3,000 to the 2021 to 22 academic year alone. From Google to Corning to NASA, America's foremost employers have taken a major interest in A&T, making its career fair the largest in North Carolina, and its virtual fairs among the nation's largest. A&T also partners with major companies, starting or expanding their operations. Apple, Toyota, Honda, and Boom Supersonic among them, in and around Greensboro, North Carolina. Classified high research activity by the Carnegie Foundation, A&T is North Carolina's third most productive public research campus. Over the past decade, it has doubled annual contracts and grants income, while advancing science in Alzheimer's disease, autonomous vehicles, nanomaterials for use in the human body, and more. Major new federal and state investments will enable the university to upgrade laboratories, research facilities, and technical equipment in support of additional strategic expansion. In early 2022, A&T opened the Harold L. Martin Sr. Engineering Research and Innovation Complex, a stunning $100 million facility dedicated to computer science, robotics, centers, and institutions on autonomous vehicles, artificial intelligence, and more. Already a national leader in engineering education, A&T will expand the pipeline further and bring key research initiatives to fruition in the Martin Complex. North Carolina A&T, always doing, never done.
Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, depending on what time you're viewing this webinar. My name is Teresa Davis, and I am the Associate Vice Chancellor for Alumni Relations at North Carolina Agricultural and Technical State University. And I'll also greet you with a hearty Aggie Pride. Welcome to the 8th edition of the Aggie Certified Alumni Recruiter Training. What you see on the screen right now is our agenda today, which includes a training overview. Then we'll get into the admissions presentation when talking about academics, admissions criteria, financial aid and scholarships, the application process. We'll also hear from our representative from athletics. And then we also will tie it up with understanding the alumni fair request process and guidelines, and then understanding the dates and deadlines for the assessments for 2022 and 2023. To our returning volunteers, our recruitment veterans, and to our new volunteers, our recruitment rookies, thank you for your willingness to become a partner in the recruitment of talented students at North Carolina A&T. And we encourage you to invite others to become certified so that we can continue to grow and broaden our reach. Now, of course, we had to place the Alumni Recruiter Program on hold for about a year during the pandemic, but during the last full year of our Aggie Certified Alumni Recruiter Program, we had over 250 certified recruiters, and we are looking to continue to build on those numbers this year. Please know, You are a valuable asset to this process, and we want to be sure that you are well equipped with information and facts as you prepare to represent North Carolina Agricultural and Technical State University at various college fairs and recruitment events. Now, this webinar is full of informative material, but I want to highlight a couple of key points that you will hear throughout this presentation. First, you must be certified to represent North Carolina A&T at any college fair. Second, college fairs must be approved by the university before a certified recruiter can participate. I repeat, you must be certified to represent North Carolina A&T at any college fair, and those college fairs must be approved by the university before a certified recruiter can participate. One additional note and a reminder: the Aggie Certified Alumni Recruiters Program is a collaborative initiative between the Office of Alumni Relations and the Office of Undergraduate Admissions. However, the Office of Undergraduate Admissions owns the college fair process and makes the final decisions on A&T's representation at college fairs. The Alumni Relations Office supports and adheres to the college fair guidelines and procedures established by our campus partners in admissions. Now, let's get started. It is my pleasure to introduce Dr. Dawn Nail, our Interim Associate Vice President for Enrollment Management. Dawn, the floor is yours.
Good evening. Thank you so much, Teresa. I appreciate that wonderful introduction. And I am so excited as a 1993 graduate of North Carolina A&T State University to come before almost about 200 Aggie alumni that are so happy to help us with this enrolling what could be our largest class yet. So thank you so much for taking the opportunity to come out, learn a little bit more about what you can do to help us with this class and how we can bring in some of the best and brightest talent to North Carolina A&T. Next slide for me. Okay, so the training overview, the Aggie Certified Alumni Recruiter Training, ACAR, is designed to give the alumni the tools and the information necessary when you're recruiting and you're speaking with prospective students. Let's get into the presentation. Okay, so here are just a few highlights about North Carolina A&T. You probably already know this. We were founded in 1891 as a land-grant university. We are STEM focused, that's science, technology, engineering, and math focused institution. And we are a doctoral research institution. This is the second year that we've had one of the largest research endowments, $97.3 million in research funding. And we just recently got another grant for $23.7 million for clear energy. So we are doing some wonderful things in the research space. We are still the #1 public HBCU in the country based on 2020 Forbes America's top colleges in 2021. And I think we've held that distinction for about 8 years in a row right about now. 13,500 plus students, which makes us, again, the largest HBCU in the country. That is a wonderful thing. We worked really hard to get that number, and we're so proud to have it. And again, we're located in Greensboro, North Carolina, which boasts about 300,000 citizens. So what do we have in the area of academics? So our academic areas, we have the College of Agriculture and Environmental Sciences, the College of Arts, Humanities, and Social Sciences, which is now our largest college. It has outgrown the College of Engineering now. We also have the Willie A. Deese College of Business and Economics, our College of Education, again, the College of Engineering, the John R. and Kathy R. College of Health and Human Sciences, that's Kathy R. Hairston College of Health and Human Sciences, and also the College of Science and Technology. Right now we have about 59 majors, everything from architectural engineering to technology, to journalism and mass communication. Again, 59 wonderful majors to choose from. The average class size that we have is 28 students, a student faculty ratio 19:1, and we also have a female to male ratio of 1:1. So who do we have for our academic support and resources? We don't want our students to think that they're coming to North Carolina A&T, being dropped off, and that they don't have any type of help, right? So the Center for Academic Excellence is a full service student support hub. We have tutoring, we have advising, we have mentoring. We also have our student athlete academic enhancement program, which is specifically for our student athletes, which you'll hear a little bit about in the presentation by Mr. Lima shortly. But a myriad of different resources, so your students are never alone. They always have the resources that they need coming in the door. And we also support our students that are undecided, or we like to call exploratory, those students who come in the door and don't necessarily know what major that they want to go into. That's absolutely okay. We'll work with them to get to where they need to be. We also have study abroad. I think we need to go back. Thank you, thank you. So I think we need to, we have study abroad opportunities, 200 plus countries that our students have studied in. We also have career services, which is a wonderful service that we have in North Carolina A&T to make sure that our students know exactly what they need to do. They come to North Carolina A&T, of course, to have a better life and to get a good job, right? So we want to make sure that they also have the tools needed to get that job. That's where career services comes in. So Handshake is a recruitment tool that they utilize to help them with that practice. And they also have several preparation services and career services, different trainings, career fairs, networking opportunities, resume building, interview skills. So a lot of different services to help students prepare to get to where they need to be. Student life. So again, we are Division I with our athletics. Right now, we are in the Colonial Athletic Association. We have 17 athletic teams. We have 160 student organizations and 16 residence halls. So how do our students become students at North Carolina A&T? Let's look at the admissions process. So in order to get into North Carolina A&T, this is some of the admissions criteria. MCR, that's minimum course requirements. You must have 4 units of math. That's in Algebra 1, Geometry, Algebra 2, and also an advanced math that can be a pre-calculus, AP calculus, a discrete mathematics. So we have those listed on our website. But again, you need 4 units of math. You need 4 units of English, 3 units of a natural science, that's biology, physical science, and also a science that includes a lab. We need 2 social sciences. One of those social sciences must be a U.S. history. And you need 2 units, this is very important, 2 units of the same foreign language. So we see students taking German and Spanish, or they may take Italian, something. They need to be 2 units of the same foreign language. And right now, this is a wonderful thing. For fall 2022, our weighted GPA, the average was a 3.766. And for our out-of-state weighted GPA was a 3.958. We brought in a wonderful class this year. So some additional admissions criteria. Some departments have their own admissions criteria. So specifically for the Willie A. Deese College of Business and Economics, you must have a 3.0 or higher weighted GPA coming in the door. Test scores are optional. You must have a 480 or higher in math, or for the the ACT, you must have an 18 or higher in math. For the College of Engineering, you must have a 3.2 weighted GPA or higher. Again, test scores are optional. For the SAT, you need to have a 1080 or higher. That is compiled. That is with the reading, writing, and the math. The math minimum must be a 520. For ACT, I keep mixing that up. ACT, you must have a 21 or higher composite and a minimum for your math score of 21. And you must have a completion of pre-calculus coming in the door. For nursing, we have a lot of students that want to go into nursing, which is why it is our largest department now, our largest college. Now we have a 3.5 or higher GPA weighted, and SAT 1010 or higher, and an ACT of 20 or higher composite. So what about those students that are transferring into North Carolina A&T? What are their criteria? So for students that are under the age of 21, when they come into North Carolina A&T, they must submit their official high school transcript or their GED or adult diploma. Any college transcripts from any schools and all schools that you've attended, you must have all schools that you've attended. Submit your official SAT or ACT test scores, if applicable, if you've taken them, and you must have a minimum college GPA of 2.0 from the last school that you attended. So if you are older than the age of 21 at the time you come into A&T, you need to submit one of the following: your official high school transcript, your high school diploma or your GED or adult diploma, your official college transcripts from any school that you've attended, and also have a 2.0. For those students that are coming in with an associate's degree, whether it's an AA or an AS, the transcript requirement is waived. So what are the MCR and MAR requirements? MCR, again, is minimum course requirements. MAR is minimum admissions requirements. For those students that are under 21 that have less than 24 hours, transferable hours, the applicants under the age of 21 and have, again, less than 24 transferable hours must have completed high school with at least a 2.5 weighted GPA and have successfully completed the minimum course requirements, which are the same as the high school MCR. That's the 4 units of English, 4 units of math, 3 units of science, 2 units of social studies, and 2 units of the same foreign language. If you have not met any of those requirements coming in the door, you must complete the 24 transferable credit hours before you come in at a regionally accredited institution with at least a C or better. So here are some additional criteria that you must meet coming in as a transfer student, specifically for departments or engineering, a 2.5 or higher, and you have to have had calculus coming in. Business students need to have at least a 2.5 or higher as well. You might have some special departmental requirements depending on which department that you may come in. There may be a specific GPA. Most of the GPAs are no less than a 2.5 when you're transferring in. And specifically for our nursing or our pre-nursing students, you have to have at least a 3.0 cumulative GPA or higher. And the students must complete biology, chemistry, or anatomy and physiology with a minimum grade of C or higher on the first attempt. That's very important, on the first attempt. And chemistry and anatomy and physiology, those courses cannot be any more than 5 years old. So for transfer credits, we work with the North Carolina Comprehensive Articulation Agreement. We have an articulation agreement with every community college in North Carolina. We also accept APIB and Cambridge scores. We have a transfer credit articulation tool. So before any of your students decide to come to North Carolina A&T, there is a tool on our website. They can go in, plug in those courses, and see if those courses will transfer over to A&T and the number of credits that will transfer over as well. So that's a very useful tool on our website. On transferable courses, we will only award credit, again, from a regionally accredited institution in which you've earned a C or above in the course, and it is comparable to the course offered at North Carolina A&T. So the maximum number of hours coming from a 2-year institution is going to be 64. The maximum number of hours for a 4-year institution, 90. And if you've attended a 2-year and a 4-year, the maximum number is 90 as well. So how much does it cost to attend North Carolina A&T? I'm sure this is one of the pressing questions that you may have. So for 22-23, the estimated cost: in-state tuition and fees, $9,440. Out-of-state tuition and fees, we're looking at just shy of $23,000. Room and board is $98.35. Any personal expenses may be about $15.30. That may vary based on the student. Transportation costs, that includes our heat bus, our shuttle, things of that nature. That's about $730. And books and supplies, we are rounding that up to about $1,200. And students can waive out of the university health insurance. They will just need to contact the Student Health Center to make that happen. And based on the note here at the bottom, room and board costs will vary based on your room style. So this $98.35, that may vary whether you're in a suite or if you're in one of our more vintage or traditional dorms. So what types of financial aid is available? We have grants. We have a myriad of different loans. We have work study for students that want to come in and work at one of our various departments here on campus. And we have scholarships, a lot of scholarships. There are a lot of scholarships that are listed on our financial aid website, whether they're for transfer students, incoming freshman students, continuing students. The key is to apply early. We cannot typically help students that come in the door really, really late. to try to get scholarships. Students that are trying to get scholarships come in the door really early, usually by October, like it says here, have those applications in, have those applications completed so that they can get the dollars that are out there for them. So again, if you're talking to students about scholarships, the key to tell them to get money, whether it's from A&T or from another scholarship, is to apply early. So the free application for federal student aid, the FAFSA, our school code is 002905. It opens on October 1 for this year. You can use your 2021 tax information. The FSA ID is required to complete the FAFSA, and it must be different for the student and the parent. And the priority submission date is December 1 for this year. So what type of freshman scholarships? I mentioned several scholarships that we have, but these are our flagship. The Cheatham White, that's the premier scholarship that we have here, and it covers everything. So it's a 4-year scholarship. It covers room, board, tuition, fees, textbooks, you get a laptop. So this is a wonderful scholarship for students coming in the door that want to have everything covered. The February 1, the Dowdy Scholarship and the National Alumni Scholarship are also wonderful scholarships, 4-year renewable. So please make sure that your students look at the website for the specific criteria that's on there. Most of them start about $375 to get in the door, but make sure that they look at the information that is available on our honors website for the criteria to apply for these wonderful scholarships. What is the application process? So our application process it opened actually on August 1. So our application is already out there for students that are trying to come in for the 23-24 school year. So how do students apply? We have a couple of ways that students can do that. We have an Aggie admissions portal, so that's directly on our website, www.ncat.edu, or they can go through the Common App. And of course, you may know the Common App is a website that allows students to apply to several different schools at one time by paying one fee. So if they go into the A&T website, the application fee is $60, and that can be paid via credit card, check, or money order. Or some of our students have fee waivers, which is a wonderful thing that they can get from College Board, from NACAC, or they can mail those into us or do them through electronic transcript service. One important note that's at the bottom, recommendation letters and personal essays are sometimes sent to other institutions as a part of the admissions packet. Recommendation letters and personal essays are not required or reviewed as a part of the admissions process at A&T. So what are the other application documents to complete your application? Again, your official transcripts, you can send those in through postal mail or through the electronic transcript service. Optional, this is very important. Even though the test scores are optional through fall of 2024, again, optional through fall of 2024, for admission, they are utilized to look at a student's math for choice for first semester. So let me say that again. For your first semester math choice, we do look at SAT scores or your ACT scores to determine where to place you in math. So even though they're not utilized right now in the admission process to get you into school, they are necessary to place you into math. So again, we are a STEM institution, so a lot of our students are coming in looking to get into engineering as a major, biology, technology as a major. A lot of those majors, the first math that you're going to take is a Math 131. If you come in, you do not have any type of test scores, we don't know exactly where to put you. We don't know what your proficiency is. So we're going to utilize those SAT scores or those ACT scores to determine where exactly to put you. So if we don't have anything to go on, we're going to put you in a very basic math, which means you're going to have at least 3, maybe 2 to 3 steps to take, okay, before you get to Math 31. So again, it's very, very important that if your student takes SAT or the ACT, that they go ahead and submit those scores. I would look at the curriculum guide that's on the website to determine what the first place math is, to determine if it's necessary. They very well may not need it. But again, coming in the door for STEM majors specifically, I do definitely encourage students to take the SAT and the ACT and to submit those scores to us. And the SAT code for A&T is 5003, and the ACT code is 3060. So the application deadlines for spring 2023, our international new freshman and transfer deadline is October 1, it's coming up fast. And for our domestic new freshmen and transfers, December 15th. What are the fall application deadlines for next year? Our early application, again, which is our scholarship consideration, is November 1. Early action is December 15th, and for our regular students, it's June 1. So a little bit of time for our regular students, but again, as I talked about earlier, for those students that are trying to get scholarships, early consideration is November 1. For international new freshmen and transfer students, the deadline is June 1. For new transfers, early action, again, for scholarship consideration, we're looking at May 15th, and our regular deadline is June 15th. And next up, I think we have Mr. Corey Lima. Corey, you ready?
Hey, Corey, you're muted.
Hello, Aggies. It's always great to be with Aggies. My name is Corey Lima. I'm the Associate Athletics Director for Compliance. This presentation will briefly overview our membership responsibilities as a Division I member institution of the National Collegiate Athletic Association, also known as the NCAA. NCAA regulations govern our institutional recruiting efforts regarding prospective student athletes. Before we discuss the most pertinent rules, let's take a look at last year's Aggie athletic accomplishments. In the year 21-22, Aggie Athletics joined a new athletics conference, the Big South, of which we had 1-year membership. The women's volleyball program had their first 20-match win season since 2004. Our women's bowling program won back-to-back championships in the Mid-Eastern Athletic Conference in the years 2021 and 2022. Our women's track and field program won their first and only Big South Indoor Track and Field Championship. And our men's track and field program finished the season in the top 10, ranked 9th nationally. As mentioned earlier in the presentation, our athletics program will join the Colonial Athletic Association in all sports, except football. Will be a member of the Big South for 1 more year. And our women's bowling program will continue to bowl out of the Mid-Eastern Athletic Conference. But in all of our other sports, we joined the CAA August 17th. All right. In order to remain in good standing with the NCAA, it is our responsibility as university representatives to exhibit institutional control of our administration of intercollegiate athletics. That demonstration of institutional control begins with a basic understanding of a few NCAA recruiting terms and bylaws. This responsibility extends beyond just coaches, administrators, and student athletes. A&T is also responsible for the actions of you all, fans and boosters, and our alumni recruiters. Let's discuss what it means to be considered a representative of our institution's athletics interest. These are some bylaws from the NCAA manual. If you've triggered one of these 5 items here, then you will be considered a representative of our institution's athletics interest, also known as an RIA. If you've participated in or to be a member of an agency or organization promoting the institution's intercollegiate athletics program, our Aggie Athletic Foundation is a great example, but other external booster clubs. If you've made financial contributions to the athletics department, if you're assisting currently or you've been requested to assist in the recruitment of prospective student athletes, if you're providing benefits to enrolled student athletes or their family members, or if you've been involved otherwise in promoting the institution's athletics program, you're considered a representative of our institution's athletics interest. You will retain that status indefinitely. Let's also look at the general rule. All in-person, on or off-campus recruiting contacts with prospective student athletes should be made with authorized institutional staff members only. Such contact, as well as correspondence and telephone calls by representatives of our athletics interest, is prohibited except as otherwise permitted in this section. A good rule of thumb is if you have any questions, you should always contact the athletics department. Our website, these are some resources available to you, is www.ncataggies.com. You want to click on the menu, then Inside Athletics. then North Carolina A&T compliance, and then fans and boosters, and you'll see a great listing of do's and don'ts as an alumni recruiter. On behalf of the athletics department, we appreciate your efforts in assisting with recruiting the best student athletes to represent us on the intercollegiate field of play. And I bid you good evening. I'll pass it back to Dawn, Dr. Nail.
Thank you, Corey. So what is the alumni fair request process? We're so excited that a lot of you are ready and willing to help us again recruit some of the best and brightest recruits into North Carolina A&T. So what is the alumni fair recruit process? You must take the following steps before doing a participation or having any type of participation in a fair. You need to complete this training that you're already attending, complete and submit the alumni fair request form at least 30 days or more prior to the fair. And the request forms will be verified by both, again, like Mrs. Boyce said, the Office of Alumni Relations and the Office of Undergraduate Admissions. And I'm sorry, I think that was Teresa that said that. So again, both the Office of Alumni Relations and the Office of Undergraduate Admissions. And you will receive a response within 15 business days. So if the requester has successfully completed the ACAR training and the university deems the fair appropriate for participation, the fair will be confirmed by the Office of Undergraduate Admissions. And then we'll go ahead and send you out a packet of materials to be used at the fair by the requester. If the requester, has not completed the ACAR training, the fair request will be declined. If the fair has a registration fee, it will not be approved unless the alumni requesting to participate in the fair is willing to cover the registration fee, him or herself, and you need to request that or indicate that information on the alumni fair request form. So here are some important guidelines that you need to remember. Alumni should not confirm the university's participation at any college fair or recruitment event. Again, this information needs to come through both the undergraduate admissions office and alumni relations prior to confirmation. So again, do not confirm the university's participation in any recruitment event prior to coming through both of these channels. Any request that's received less than 30 days in advance of the fair will not be approved for alumni participation, and you will also not get any materials without prior approval. The alumni should not participate in any fairs if you, again, are not certified and have not received the most recent admissions material. So please do not use any, that's the next bullet point, please do not use any outdated materials. Our information updates annually, if not a little bit more. So please make sure you have the most updated information and discard any and all admissions materials received prior to this training cycle. So again, what are some more guidelines that we need you to have when going out to represent us? You please, if you would, make sure that you arrive on time. We're requesting at least 15 to 30 minutes early. Dress in business casual attire. Please stay for the entire program. Check in with the registration booth and make sure that you introduce yourself to the counselor or the fair sponsor. Do not collect any student demographic information or receive any documents. Any documents definitely need to come through the Office of Undergraduate Admissions via one of those channels that I mentioned, either the electronic transfer service or the postal mail, or they can drop them off. Do not stand in front of the booth. We want to make sure that students are coming to the booth because they want to, not because they feel enticed to come to the booth. So make sure that you're not standing in front of the booth. We shouldn't have any more than 4 representatives at a booth at any one time. Only literature may be handed out. So no additional trinkets or things like that. So just things that are officially, materials that are officially delegated by the university to be handed out. Do not distribute anything other than the information that we provide you for the fairs. Please make sure that you're courteous to other exhibitors and fair attendees. Remember that you are working for North Carolina A&T and you're representing the school. So please make sure that you're courteous. If you're gonna have your cell phone with you, we prefer that you not have it out and that you place it on silent. Please wait for students again and parents and guests to approach your table. do not imply, please, any guarantee of admission to students regardless of his or her credentials. Please allow that or leave that to the Office of Undergraduate Admissions. And most importantly, do not compare North Carolina A&T State University with any other higher education institutions. Ms. Boyce, I think you're next up.
Thank you so much, Dr. Nell, and good evening, good morning, or good afternoon, Aggies. So great to see each of you today, and thank you again for investing in serving our beloved alma mater. So training dates and deadlines. For those that are watching today, the certification assessment will open tomorrow, September 9th, 2022, and close October 14th, 2022. For those that will watch the on-demand version of this training, the video will be available September 12th, 2022. We will reopen the certification in the spring on January 9th, 2023, and close on February 10th, 2023. So if you know of other Aggies who are interested in supporting the university through the Aggie Certified Alumni Recruiter Training, please encourage them to watch in September or join us again in January. For those completing the training now, or that will watch the on-demand version up until October 14th, we will start sending out certifications via email weekly on Fridays, starting September 16th. Now, a part of your training is not just to watch the video or join us live tonight, but also complete an assessment. We want to know and make sure that you were taking notes and are prepared to represent North Carolina Agricultural and Technical State University across the country. So take out a pen or paper or take a screenshot of this screen. Go to bit.ly ACAR Assessment 2123 and take the training assessment. Please note the certification for this academic year is only valid until June 30th of 2023. This is an annual certification and you must complete the training and assessment annually. Again, this is a collaboration between the Office of Undergraduate Admissions and the Office of Alumni Relations. If you have any questions about the Aggie Certified Alumni Recruiter Training process, assessment, or fair requests, please contact the Office of Alumni Relations at 336-433-5570, 336-433-5570, or email alumni@ncat.edu, alumni@ncat.edu. Again, Aggies, we thank you for the lives you touch. We appreciate you so much and thank you for supporting your beloved alma mater in the Aggie Certified Alumni Recruiter Training. Have a great morning, afternoon, or evening. Aggie Pride.